Hi friends, thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel to learn more about the key steps that you can take to be your best you. In my previous videos, I talked about my belief that there are 6 key steps on the journey to becoming your best you. In the previous videos, we reviewed the first 4 steps, which were gratitude, positivity, belief, and goals. In this video, we'll talk about the 5th step, which is discipline. I decided to film this video about discipline in the utility room of my house. As you can see, it's pretty bare bones. But there's a poster that hangs in this room that I love that reminds me about the importance of discipline. And the poster says that discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want the most. It's easy to get distracted by the things that you want in the moment, the temporal pleasures, the kind of easy way out, the shiny object. But they can, if you're not careful, distract you from the things that are really important to you long term. Your own self-development, achieving your goals, being there for the people that matter the most in your life. So this poster kind of helps to ground me and remind me that I really need to keep focusing on what's most important in the long term. I also find it fitting that this poster is here in a very bare and functional part of my home, not one of the more kind of glamorous or fancy parts of the house. After all, discipline isn't about glamour or glory. It's about grit and it's about grind. Now, in my prior video about goals, I talked about the fact that your goals should be commitments. They should be things that you will do, not things that, oh, I hope I will do. Now, once you've set a goal and you've really committed to it, you're not done. The goal is not going to accomplish itself. To accomplish that goal, you need to put in the hard work. And hard work is where discipline comes in. A lot of people think that the hard work that you put in is driven by your motivation. I even have a poster on the other side of this wall, which is where my workout room is, that says that ability determines what you're capable of doing, but motivation determines what you actually do. You know, I think that poster is wrong, and I keep meaning to change it, get out a marker and strike through it. Because motivation comes and goes. You can't rely upon it to determine what actually gets done. Discipline is what actually gets the work done. There's going to be days when you don't feel motivated. And if you rely on motivation to put in your hard work, you're not going to be putting in the hard work consistently. You're going to have motivation comes from external factors. You can't wait for motivation to happen to you. You have to create that motivation yourself. And that ability to just pick yourself up, even when you don't feel motivated, and put in the work anyway and just get it done, that's discipline. And I would bet on the disciplined person over the motivated person anytime. Now, one essential element of discipline is consistency. Once you start putting in hard work consistently, it becomes a habit. It becomes something that you start to do automatically. You don't need to rely on motivation or something else to get you to do it. I'd love to share an example from my own fitness journey to illustrate the importance of habit and consistency. For many years, I've been observing from afar this local running group in Belmont, Massachusetts that gets up at 5 o'clock or 5:30 most mornings, meets up and does speed work or hill work or other feats of running endurance. And I've admired them from afar and kind of thought about joining them. But I felt like, it's just going to require too much effort and too much motivation to wake myself up before 5 a.m. so that I can get over there and run with them. Or I just, there's no way at that time of the morning I'm going to be able to keep up with these, talented athletes. And so I just didn't do it. And for years, I've just kind of been wishing and tempted to do it, but never did. So finally, I summoned up some motivation, which is temporary, and decided, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to get up early, and I'm going to join them for a workout. And I did. It took a lot of motivation to set that alarm, get myself out of bed. It was painful at first. And I went out and joined them, but turns out I had a great time. They're a great group of people. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do this again. Second time was hard. I had to motivate myself to set that alarm again, get up early. But then I kept doing it. And sure enough, over time, it stopped being hard. It stopped being difficult. And I stopped needing motivation. It just became my routine. Certain nights of the week, I set my alarm early. I put out all my stuff the night in advance so that I was ready just to hear that alarm, get up and get at it. And now, I'm a regular with the group, and it feels great. So the importance of, sticking with a routine, making it become a habit, that's when all of a sudden discipline just becomes second nature. There's a quote by David Goggins that I love where he talks about, just the fact that he gets after it every day, again and again. Sometimes when he's not training for anything, he doesn't have any big, compelling purpose. And he says, you know what? He's like, this is just what I do. And at that point where it just becomes who you are and what you do, regardless of what's motivating you, that's powerful, and that creates discipline. I know a lot of people, including myself at times, who sign up for temporary programs or challenges to motivate themselves to get fit or to accomplish a goal. An example might be a dry January where you don't drink for the month, or a 6-week program where you're going to do an online fitness program that's challenging. These things can be great, and I'm not knocking them, and I know people that have had success, including me, with them. But the only danger of these programs, of these challenges, is that they're temporary. You know that you're putting in the work, but you know that they have an end date. And you know that end date, maybe you can then just kind of take your foot off the gas, take it a little bit easier, or, kind of move on to something else. And by definition, anything that you know is temporary will never become a habit. To become a habit, it has to be consistent and ongoing. So if you end up signing up for one of these programs or one of these challenges, and it works for you, don't stop when you're done. Make it part of your routine and keep going with it. If it didn't work for you, well then okay, pivot, find something else. But once that works, make it part of your routine. Anything where you go from one temporary thing to the next, I don't think is going to get you to your goals, because it'll never become a habit. Another reason that discipline is so important in achieving your goals is that any meaningful goal that you set can rarely be achieved with only a short period of hard work. A few weeks of eating well, a few weeks of working out hard, a few weeks of working late in the office, those will rarely allow you to accomplish anything truly impactful. To achieve anything truly impactful, you typically need to work at it for months, if not years. I can share a personal example. In my last video about goals, I talked about how I've set a long-term goal for myself that I want to complete a full Ironman triathlon. I'm nowhere near ready to do that right now. I've got a lot of work to do, and it's not going to be just weeks of work. That won't get me anywhere near where I need to be to complete this race to the standard that I hold myself to. To do that, it's going to take me many months, if not years of work to do this. And to do that, I need discipline. I need to be able to just keep up the work, keep putting that work in consistently over a sustained period of time. As the saying goes, success trains, failure complains. Another essential element of discipline is prioritization. How many times have we heard people in our lives, including ourselves, say, I'm just too busy to take on a big goal right now. I just don't have the time to put in the work required. Hey, I get it. I'm sympathetic. I'm sure I've done that myself. We're all busy. We're under a lot of stress. It's scary to think about how we would find the time to put in the work it would really require to be successful for that goal. And while hard work is, as it says, it's hard. It's scary. So I understand the temptation to say that. But at the end of the day, when we say we're just too busy, when we say we don't have enough time, it's just a lie. There are 24 hours in every day, which means there's 168 hours in every week. You can find some of those hours and put them towards your goals. It's all about defining what's really important to you. What else are you doing with your time? How many hours a week are you spending on things that don't take you in the right direction? You're watching TV, you're playing video games, you're eating junk, you're scrolling through social media, you're spending time on activities in your life that don't bring you any real joy. I guarantee you, if you take some of those hours and repurpose them towards working on your goals, you'll be crushing your goals by then. As an aside, when it comes to prioritization, I get a little annoyed when I hear motivational speakers bash people for sleeping and feel like that by sleeping, you're being lazy. You're taking yourselves away from your goal because you're choosing to sleep. Sleep's actually really important. Sleep's important for your growth. It's important for your body. It's important for healing. It's important for focus. It's important for good mental health. Get your sleep, but you don't need to sleep too long. Get your 7 to 8 hours, get up, and get working. I've talked in this video about things you can do to gain discipline, about putting in the hard work, about creating consistency, making things a habit, prioritizing. But equally as important, there's things you can not do to become disciplined. And this is the importance of being able to say no. Being able to say no to the things you want now so that you can gain the things that you want the most, just like this poster says. To be able to say no is really hard, but it's extremely important. What are the things you would say no to? You would say no to temporal pleasures that take you further away from your goals, like skipping a workout and going out and drinking heavily. Being able to say no to foods and nutrition that take you further away from your goals. Saying no to people in your life that bring negative energy. And also saying no to activities in your life that you're doing out of a sense of obligation or because you've always done them, but they bring you no real joy. Say no to all of those things, and that frees up energy and time that allows you to pursue your goals. And that is every bit as much of discipline as getting up and grinding it out. Once you've learned to be disciplined and you're putting in the hard work consistently to achieve your goals, you'll be ready for the final step in the journey to being your best you. Watch this channel for the next video, and I'm excited to walk you through that final step. In the meantime, it means the world to me to be on this journey with you, to be able to support you in your journey and to have you here following and supporting mine. Let's continue to do that. Let's root each other on and help each other be successful. It brings me tremendous joy to be able to do that. You can follow me on Instagram at Sean Hoyt Stay Active, or you can visit my website at www.seanhoytstayactive.com. Thank you for the time out of your busy life to watch this video and to be on this journey with me. It really does mean the world to me. Stay active and be your best you.